Hi there, this video is an exam paper walkthrough of the AQA GCSE Mathematics Higher Tier Paper 3 from summer 2023. This paper is worth 80 marks in total, and this is the first video of 4. It will focus on questions 1 to 8, which account for 19 of these marks. AQA Paper 3s are calculator papers, so a calculator should be used. A little disclaimer, there may be more than one way to answer a question. The methods shown in this video are not the only way some mathematical skills can be applied. Okay, let's get started. Question 1. The line with equation y equals 2x add 7 intersects the y-axis at A. Complete the coordinates of A. So if it intersects the y-axis, it will intersect the y-axis when x equals 0. So we're going to substitute x equals 0 in. So y equals 2 times 0 adds 7. X is 0. We've substituted it in. 2x means 2 times x. 2 times 0 is 0. And 0 adds 7 is 7. So the y coordinate equals 7. Question 2. Write down a fraction equivalent to 1.875. So it doesn't say whether it wants a mixed number or an improper fraction. It doesn't tell you to simplify anything. So there's a couple of options here. The first option here is you have 1.875. So that 1 would be a whole number part. And then I would write the 875 as the numerator. And because we've got 1, 2, 3 digits, we're working in the thousands. And that 5's in the thousandths column, so that should help you figure out what the numerator would be. So you could put that on your answer line because it doesn't state mixed number or improper fraction. The other option would be to write the whole thing as the numerator, again, working in thousands. So we'd put 1,000 as the denominator. Either one of those on the answer line, without simplifying, is going to get you that mark because it doesn't say either way. Question 3. Solve 5x add 11 equals 3x add 19. So I'm solving for x, and that unknown x is on both sides. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate the smallest of the unknowns. So I've got 5x and 3x. 3x is smallest, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. 5x subtract 3x is 2x. The 11 stays as it is. I haven't done anything to the numbers. I've dealt with the terms with x in. 3x subtract 3x is 0. And then we've still got that positive 19. Now I'm going to eliminate the 11. The inverse of add 11 is to subtract 11. So 19 subtract 11 is 8. And then when I subtract 11 from the left-hand side, it just leaves me with 2x. Final inverse operation. This is 2 multiplied by x. So we're going to divide by 2. So x equals 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Question 4. A map has a scale of 1 to 5,000. How many metres are represented by a length of 4.5 centimetres on the map? So this is 1 to 5,000 centimetres. So if we've got 4.5 centimetres, let's draw ourselves a little bit of a proportion table. So if we've got 1 centimetre is 5,000 centimetres in real life. So 1 centimetre on the map, and then this is the real. And then we want 4.5 centimetres. So what we would do is multiply by 4.5. So we're going to do the same on the other side. 5,000 multiplied by 4.5 equals 22,500. We have to remember we're dealing with centimetres here. He wants to know how many metres. There are 100 centimetres in 1 metre. So we're going to divide by 100. which is 225. So it's 225 metres for a 4.5 centimetres on the map. Question 5. The number of hedgehogs in England is expected to reduce by 4% each year. Assume there are now 1 million hedgehogs in England. Work out the expected number of hedgehogs in England after 5 years. You must show your working. So, if the number of hedgehogs reduces by 4% each year, we would start with 100% and then we would reduce by 4%. So we would be aiming to have 96% of that value in that after that year. 96% as a multiplier is 0.96, so that's what I'm going to use in my calculations. So you might have seen this kind of method with compound interest. It works the same for depreciation, so a reduction. So we're starting with 1 million hedgehogs and we want it to be reduced by 4% each year. So we're going to multiply by 0.96, which is our multiplier for a 4% reduction. And we want to know how many will be remaining after 5 years. So we then raise it to the power of 5. So we're going to pop that in our calculator. We're going to press equals. So we have 815,372.6976. We can't have 0.6976 of a hedgehog. So on our answer line, we're just going to put the whole number part. Question 6. Here is a cuboid A. Cuboid B is made from 2 of cuboid A. So we've got 2 of these, one on top of each other. The volume of A to the volume of B is in the ratio 1 to 2. Matthew says the surface area of A to the surface area of B must be 1 to 2 because B is made of 2 of A. Is Matthew correct? So when we're dealing with the surface area, we're dealing with all of the faces on the outside of this 3D shape. So in cuboid A, we would add together all 6 faces for the total surface area. However, in cuboid B, by putting 2 of cuboid A together, we've actually covered 2 of the faces. 2 of the faces won't be counted in the surface area anymore. So only 5 faces of each of these cuboids will be counted. So here we would count 6 faces. Here we would count 10 faces. That's not in a ratio of 1 to 2. So he's wrong. And the reason we're going to give is 2 faces are covered in cuboid B. Question 7a. Complete the table of values for y equals x squared add 2x. So we've got x values and we have some y values filled in. We need to fill in these 2 blank values here. And to do that, we substitute our x value into this quadratic equation and it will tell us what our y value is. When we're substituting into this quadratic equation, we need to be careful. So x squared, so whatever our x value is, we will square it and then we will add 2 times whatever that x value is. So where I've put brackets here, that's how I'm going to enter it into my calculator because it's going to save me some time later on. So I'm going to start with this first x value here of -2. So bracket -2 squared, add 2 times -2. So you can see where I've got brackets here, I've got brackets in my calculator. And I'm going to press equals. That gives me a value of 0. Now I want to do the same, but I want an x value of 1. So I can simply arrow back and change where I put the -2 to be the +1. And then press equals, which gives me a value of 3. 7b. Draw the graph of y equals x squared add 2x. So this is the same quadratic equation from there. For the values of x from -3 to 1. So we've got the values of x from -3 to 1 and we've got their corresponding y values. So that means we can use these pairs as coordinates to draw this graph. So the first coordinate, we go along the x-axis and then we follow the y-axis. So we're going to go to -3 on the x-axis, but then to +3 on the y. We're going to go to -2 on the x, but then to 0. -1 on the x, but then to -1 on the y. 0 on the x, 0 on y, and then +1 on the x, +3 on the y. So I've plotted those points now. What I need to do is attempt to draw a smooth curve, as smooth as I can by hand, that goes through all those points. I'd recommend you drawing that curve in pencil, then if you do make a mistake, you can rub it out and it'll be clear to the examiner which is the answer that you're submitting. Question 8. Jing has £2,450. She saves some and gives the rest to her 4 brothers. So the ratio of money saved to money given to the brothers is 2:5. So saved and given. She gives each of her 4 brothers the same amount. Does each brother receive more than £430? You must show your working out. Again, this might be a calculator paper, but anything we type into our calculator is going to go in our working out. So first things first, let's find out how much Jing saved compared to how much she gives away. So we're going to share 2,450 into this ratio. So 2 + 5 is 7. So that's the total number of parts of the ratio. So then we're going to do 2,450 divided by 7, which is £350. So we have our ratio of saved to given as 2:5. 2 times 350 is 700. So that's £700 saved. 5 times 350 is 1,750. So that's how much has been given away. Now it says that she's giving this to her 4 brothers and they're each getting the same amount. So we can simply divide 1,750 by 4, which tells us they each get £437.50. Does each brother receive more than £430? Yes, they do. So make sure you very clearly say yes near all of your working out.